know how to utilize energy on a day-to-day basis, we got actual things that's written out of how stuff like to play out. You get what I'm saying? But that don't mean that's for everything. That don't mean that's for your life. So before we even get into it, y'all, I'm gonna let it get to cooking for a minute, and I'm gonna get right into it because we got a lot to talk about, man. And a lot of people probably still don't understand why it works like this, or why they don't have a quite understanding of why religious people is the way they is. But it's exactly the way they supposed to be. You know what I'm saying? This is what happened when you basically, instead of saying a prison that you're putting somebody in, you know how everybody say the Matrix, you basically just throw them in that, and you tell them the ropes and see how it play out. Of course, it's gonna be, a little mental help. It need to be a lot of different places, more health problems, not only just the dyes and the foods and stuff, of course, y'all, but just look how people carry themselves. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of people just need mental help, and there ain't no excuse to say that somebody did for them. They just, done lost their mind completely. So before we get into it, it's a lot of things talk about the mind, especially how it can be developed. When you think of institutionalized, like I was going to say, you think about a prison, you think about a religion. They go hand in hand. This is the reason why a lot of people call it jail man knowledge. But before we even get into it, it's finna get deep because you will see where it comes from. And none of it comes from here originally. None of it was here originally. And one thing about religion, it's supposed to be a part of a worldview. So if you think about it like that, it's part of a worldview, and none of it is from here. That means this has nothing to do with the world that you're actually living. So if you stay in America and all the worldview and morals and systems was placed in India, what does that have to do with you? That has nothing to do with you. You get what I'm saying? So it's already starting off wrong. You get what I'm saying? And then from that perspective, even people don't look at it like that. It's a colonizing thing, and that's the reason why you see them outside of places. You see how they try to talk to people. It's all the same mindset, but a lot of people don't like to look at it like that. So they created biases where you will feel comfortable knowing that you got on these clothing or this cloth. And what I mean by that is thinking that you with this knowledge or you know this about this thing, but that's little all you know. You get what I'm saying? Because it get deep when you think about how religious people, how deep they go into their Bibles, their books, or whatever it is, or whatever part of religion they in. They'll go to the depth with it, and it's like you don't even know. That's not even your worldview, or that's not even grasp for you. It's just basically you don't know where this person coming from because you don't even know the beginning of it. What's good, Charlotte? You know what I'm saying? So it get deep when we start talking about that. And that's the main reason why they have so many different arguments and debates where nobody know who won. Literally, when they have debates like Gorilla, all them dudes there, when they have debates, we still be at the thing like, who won? Because it's all the same. What's good, man? What's good, stay off the grid? What's good, Jonathan? You already know what time it is, man. We're finna cook. Because one thing about it, man, when you start breaking down these words, religion, and all this type of stuff there, it comes from Latin. And we already know this the old French. So when you think about the old French, you think about the new French or the old Babylon, think about the new Babylon, which is the times that we was living under captivity. So when y'all see the world falling apart like Siberia, Syria, whatever you want to call it, and all these different places, going to war or, having these, what I was going to say, protests and stuff like this on these mass scales, you already know what time it is. You know what I'm saying? That's basically the city of Babylon falling the way that they put it. But Babylon is the shape of an ideology of how monastesia people like to make things one. So the same way how people used to be like, oh, the Illuminati broke down 2 buildings to make one. It's the same thing. It's all about monastesia. Even when it comes to your relationships, your relationships do not revolve over just you being one man and one woman. Sometimes it take a team. It take a village to raise a child. So if we want to talk about 2 people, that's not going to be enough. You get what I'm saying? Them 2 people pin dry, and in certain situations, they might not understand because they share different thoughts. You get what I'm saying? So a lot of times we have this where why you see, so this is how it goes. You get what I'm saying? So when you start breaking down deep stuff, it always be them little weirdos that pop up. So these let you know they be part of a religion too because they be under Freemasons, and these people allow you to come as in a religion. So they don't care what religion you pushing. They allow it because at the end of the day, it's still about them teaching and coaching your mind a certain way. So when we talk about institutionalizing the mind, it don't just work in the prison tactic. It work a lot of different places. You know what I'm saying? It work in religion. It work in cults. It work in a lot of different places, even the influence. So when we talk about false idolizing, we talk about people with, fake leaders. When you start thinking about all this stuff, that's the reason why they brung it into their books. So they could play the reverse side of it. So they could play both sides of it. They could play the thing by saying, hey, look, y'all shouldn't follow after nobody, but yet have a whole religion that have you believe in some type of superhuman or some type of supernatural being, and then tell you what the supernatural beings is. So go to breaking down different things. The same way they do with the gods and stuff like that. They make monastesia with the, the religious prep of how things is today, they make you say it's one God. But every time before then, Egyptian times, Greek times, Hindu times, all the times before then had multiple gods. But then when you get to this one, it's telling you it's one. So it's a whole bunch of confusion. You get what I'm saying? And that's the reason why when you hear these masses arguing, they're arguing about the wrong thing, because they don't understand the one power of a miracle and how it could be used in many different ways without getting lost and thinking it's all about some type of superhuman shit that's gonna happen, or some, some Dragon Ball Z type shit. Because this is what the movies, this is what sci-fi, this is what all these things have did to people, have shaped their imagination in a certain way. So when people see sci-fi, they already expect an alien do this, or they already expect a mermaid look like this, because throughout your life they give you little small glimpses of it. So it's training your mind to know what to look for when you're seeing this certain object. That goes along with anything, even a goddamn car. You get what I'm saying? If you never lived in places where a car at, you won't know what the fuck it is until somebody tell you. So when we going off of that, if you was to do that with all these religions, none of it would make sense. Because if you take a 7-year-old that never been to church, he would not believe in the same God that you believe in, or anything that you believe in. If anything, because he'll be like, hey, I haven't seen it, I haven't felt it, but I do know things do exist that I can't quite explain, stuff like that, if anything. But when you start getting down to how somebody shape your mind, as soon as you come out the womb, the first free book you got is a Bible. You get what I'm saying? And they're ready to shove it down your throat, tell you what you need to know about it. And the way that they're starting to read from it is understanding it from anamorphizing. So they're turning every human into an animal on there. They're not understanding the animalistic natures. So when they hear low hanging fruit, they use what it's called, start with a P or whatever. Shit, I don't forget how you say it. But either way, they'll use that type of junk and then reverse it on you. So they'll make it mean some perverted junk. So when you starting to read scriptures, you'll see a lot of perverted stuff going on. And then you'll be like, hold on. Not only the pervertedness, you'll start seeing it where like it looked like slave masters had their little hand in on it. You know what I'm saying? Especially in Leviticus and stuff like that. So it started getting weird. So when we talk about these religious people, they're going from one book that's already been created. So that's not the starting point. So when you start looking at times of how the religions were created, then none of them was created here. All those people that show you the religions created, go look at even the movies they show you back in the ancient times and stuff. They all look like they was under captive. So it wasn't like, and it looked like how the world is starting to look now. You get what I'm saying? Where we getting more captive by different things. We're signing up to apps. We're signing up to this. Where we're not owning nothing. We basically been a subscription of everything. You get what I'm saying? So it get deep. So the thing about it is, he's just like, man, no matter how far you try to go with these people, it's just like it's always the next step. So how religions play out is using the human faith. So the way that somebody look at it as a superhuman plays out a little different than the animal figures how they did, but it means the same thing. It's just the coating behind it. It's just like when people see, the Jesus picture and all that type of stuff there, they get the wrong understanding from it. They thinking it's like this the picture. No, this is what the man represents inside of these pictures, or inside of this philosophy, or however you want to look at it. But then they do some sneaky stuff by like playing it against you and use these same things, you know what I'm saying? And have people having these debates and these arguments that like lead up to nowhere. Well, we still ain't being able to do shit. It ain't helping us get nowhere in life. It ain't making nothing easier. If anything, it's just making people think and give up the actual faith that they would have had, because you got them believing in some Dragon Ball Z or some Animorph stuff. You remember the book Animorph or Harry Potter type stuff, and it ain't necessarily coming true like that. And when they do see it like that, it's already being controlled by a human at the end of the day, just like what we see now. When we say AI videos and all of these people talking about something, they found them doing this and stuff, that's fear mongering. That's other ways for them to scare people. Like Christians would be the first ones scared, but yet don't believe in the figures that come from. So it's like the same thing, like with Satanism. They know most of them figures that they have in religion is be like a human with a goat head and all this type of stuff there. So the way they play it out is changing it with new religion versus old religion, but it's still the captive of being, all control of being captive. Hold up real quick, y'all. I want to show y'all something too real quick on this damn computer. But yeah, it's just how it goes, man. So when we start looking at it, and none of this stuff come from here. It all come from Latin, come from France, come from all these different places that we seen as evil people, because they came to some lands and just took over the lands. You get what I'm saying? And made people pay for living on the lands, pay to breathe, pay to eat, pay to do everything, which is what we got today. Hold on, y'all. So that's the crazy part about that. I'm gonna show y'all on the computer what I'm talking about. All right, let's see. Bum. See what I'm saying? It all comes from Latin. So when you start looking at the origin of where something come from, and look, life under understanding. So when you understanding that, and you see it's come from Middle English, so this once again ain't somebody's stuff, but they're die hard for it, and don't even realize it's actually going against them to see how they got more profits in our lands and took over our lands, and when we don't listen to their laws or whatever, that's when we're being disobedient to the God, which is the one that they're portraying to be. So hold on real quick. See, these are the books that was made before the Bible. You see, Hindu already had a book. The Emnat Elish already had a book. The Babylonians already had a book. The Egyptians already had a book, the Book of the Dead. You get what I'm saying? This is about talking about Anubis, all that type of stuff. So this ain't nothing new. This is just something where Christians don't understand it, because when they're trying to talk about theologians, they don't understand the text the way that they're supposed to. You get what I'm saying? That's just what it is. So when you got a whole bunch of people that don't know what the hell they talking about, anytime they have a conversation, of course, it's going to sound like a bunch of gibberish, a non-stop argument. Hold on real quick. Yeah, so either way, just wanted to show y'all that real quick, because a lot of people don't even look at what the stuff they got going on. Now everything accessible. It ain't even no excuse for being inside of something or being a part of something and don't even know what the hell you a part of. So when it's come down to you searching even what a group is or society, what a ritual is and a routine, now you already know. You get scared no more, because it's the stuff that you was already doing. It just they added spookism to it, so to make you feel like you were doing something wrong, or to make you feel like you shouldn't have been doing it, but yet it's getting done against you, and you have been doing it the whole time, just ain't know you was doing it. So it's a whole bunch of type of reverse psychology tactics, and all this get played. That's the reason why they be so weird with like ruining the privacy of our kids. They don't care about it, because they look at them like a lab rat, but now it's more analytical. So instead of them just like poking them and treating them with stuff, they do that as well. But at the same time, they're watching them more like a computer, more like an AI. So the same information that they're gathering from our kids and from us, they later on use things to create things that has nothing to do with us, but yet has a flow of income, a leadership over people, and stuff like this, which start getting real weird. And you got to start questioning things, you know what I'm saying? To where they can make anything look like it's real, and it ain't even real at all. So we dealing with some times, y'all, where it's going to get real tricky, or it have already been tricky, as we've been seeing. And the thing about it is, it be spookism, because at the end of the day, it's just some man behind it that's doing it. It ain't no special forces, it ain't no extra junk like that. Now, when we talk about special forces, they got special treatment, special ways they could do things, special ways to get a duty done. So, of course, they got power like that. But we talking about as in, like, some stuff that they showed us on these damn animes or something like that. And it's fucked up. Even One Piece, they get us to watch stuff and don't even realize what we watching. You know what I'm saying? Like, pirates coming over, take over different lands, they battling it out, blowing up each other's ships, all this type of stuff. And it's like, damn. Once again, they made us be okay with what have already happened and have continued to happen. So we okay with, paying bills that everybody necessarily need, or study voting for someone to make the world worse than better, because everyone we voted for or anything like that they tell us to put our faith in have been let down. So people still continue to do it. You know what I'm saying? And it just show you where the world mind be at, because at the end of the day, it's just trained. And you can't blame the people necessarily when they get hula hooped through some type of esoteric Olympics, and it ain't theirs. You get what I'm saying? It's somebody else's whole thing for them to have some type of amusement behind how you suffering from life or what you going through. All of these things is nothing but just numbers to them, and it's not even their actual life, because they don't have to put up or be in the same area as us. You know what I'm saying? So it'd be us battling amongst us. Same thing like what you see in the store. Having the customer always right, but the customer might be wrong. The manager, you know what I'm saying, might think they right. However, you're going to always have these little things where it's some head bumps. So we ain't saying all arguments in the world going to end, but we saying like arguments of Jesus did this, Messiah did this. And it's like, yo, y'all heard this from somebody else's story, and then y'all don't understand. And this person's story, the words that they were saying didn't necessarily mean what it means today. And also changing the wordplay of itself, adding letters that wasn't existing a couple hundred years ago. So you got a lot of different edits, modifications, and all that, but it don't supposed to change the meaning of it. But the way people look at it, like I said, it anamorphize it or turn it into like some humanoid junk, to making it like it's like You know what I'm saying? It's like, oh snap, this big dude finna come from the sky and be like super strong and kicking everybody. Man, they be having a lot of people believing in some crazy junk. And the only way, like I was saying earlier, somebody gonna believe in that is like their kids. Same thing like you believing in Santa Claus. It's the same damn thing. Then when you find out the truth, damn, Santa Claus never coming. It's the same way they've been playing junk for people right now. If you put in the mind frame of you're not gonna do nothing until somebody else get here, and that person never is somebody that's gonna actually come or don't even exist itself, well, you just fell for a trick. You get what I'm saying? You fell for a trick of not defending yourself. So at the same time, even if you want to look at it from the religious perspective, God, you should look at it like God ain't soft. God destroyed the whole city from not listening. So if somebody not listening to you, or somebody bringing force and oppression to you, you should be able to willing to do the same thing. So at the end of the day, it shouldn't be like a weakness thing. So I don't get why they don't use it the correct way, or the ways that you could use it to actually better your actual real life. Not just talking about something where when something pop off, it ain't got nothing to do with nothing. No matter how much you prayed, if you don't sit here and hit licks and did all this dumb junk, somebody might kill you. You ain't even got to do that. You might get popped still, because that's just how life is. You might be in the wrong place at the wrong time, and that got things behind it. You know what I'm saying? Like some people do the astrology breakdown, but like, okay, I see what's going on. Let me not be in this area. Motherfuckers might be tweaking. But you can see it in real life. You ain't even got to go by that. Start sensing that shit. You be like, damn. For the way they try to make stuff. So what we see is them making everything super animated when it come down to belief systems and all this. Like I said, it's a belief system. So it's a system that was given to you. The same way the system of the law was given. So it's an institutionalized. It's like if you don't go by those laws, you shall be punished. And it's the same way as when you look at the Bible ways. So I don't get how people don't get confused by that. So at the same time, that's just what it is. So man, what I'm finna say. But yeah, that's the reason why I be like, man, damn, everybody in the religious shit is gonna keep people from, ever coming together to actually see what the hell we got to do as the people. So instead of giving power away from you actually having the wisdom or the intelligence that you done gained throughout your life, and be able to see like, yo, shit ain't right. Why it ain't right? Because of this and that there. If you can map out why it ain't right in life, you should know it's a possibility of it being fixed. But they tell you, oh, it can't be, because you got to sacrifice this, sacrifice that. So they lie and continue to lie. And we steady put our hands, our feet, all our damn belongings, our body, give up our whole life working and stuff for people that ain't got the same loyalty back. You get what I'm saying? So that just show us that. And we basically trained ourselves to that. I'm going to go live later on, y'all. But yeah, that's about it.